This video has gone through 2 revisions so far. This is the 3rd revision, and basically the first 2 versions of this video contained regular commentary from talking about stuff that already happened, and live commentary where I did more investigating on the website and found some new stuff. But they felt very unorganized and sort of sloppy, so I decided to cancel them both and just make a complete commentary structured video, one that's more organized and is easier to understand and comprehend. All the info in it is less scattered. So a couple months back, I made a video talking about Xccr, how I felt it was a dead ARG, and just some things revolving around it. Of course, the website itself as well. Now, I'm gonna admit the video is kind of useless because I was just literally listing down all the info we had on the website, its supposed correlation to Half-Life 2, and some other things about it, but that's really it. I ended up missing a key piece of evidence, actually. Not evidence, info about it. You see, there's a Reddit post that talks about some of the progress made to Xccr.com. It's essentially, for those of you who don't know, I mean, you really should just watch the original video. It's a puzzle website. And in terms of the website itself, I thought no one made any actual progress into it. I was actually wrong. I thought we only pretty much scratched the surface, but there's a Reddit post, and I'll talk more about this later, but I found about this Reddit post that talks about some actual made progress in Xccr, and how this guy who's doing the puzzle, I guess, made it to this checkpoint or something like that. Again, I'll get into more about it later, but let's get to the actual video itself now. The mystery continues. So I thought that was it with Xccr. I thought I was done, wasn't really going to talk about it again, but here we are. A couple months later, it's now December, mid to late December, and I get a message from a YouTuber named, a comment, from a YouTuber named Captain Carter. And he messaged me about a code that he might have that might work on the website. A code that he does have that might work on the website. And again, this is back before I found the Reddit post talking about the progress made, so I thought, hey, anything could go. And even if I did know about the Reddit post, I still would have took him up on his message and want to hear about the code and all that. But yeah, again, I was very stumped by this because I thought there's no progress made whatsoever. And it's like someone here has a code that's amazing. That's great, and he's letting me enter it and actually he's telling me about the code first, supposedly. But there was a big problem with this, is that he messaged me a day before I was about to go to Mexico to go see my dad. I was away from my main setup, and the problem with this is that I prefer to work here and do videos like this here for proper documentation. So I essentially I responded to him that basically saying you contacted me right before I was about to go on my trip to Mexico, and I guess in a nutshell just said I'd really prefer it if we did this when I got back. He said sure thing, and that was that. I was off to Mexico. So, as you can imagine, while I'm in Mexico, I spent a decent amount of the trip, not a decent amount, but I spent a little bit of time just thinking about the code that he would have, and just that in general, and Xccr in general. It got me thinking again, just about Xccr. And in the middle of my trip, during the mid to later half, I actually I went on the Xccr website, just check it out. The last sort of record of the website that I thought was current one was essentially it being taken down. When you'd search up, it would have a runtime error, but that's not what happened when I went on. And this is only about a week or two ago. This is all very recent. This is before the new year, but only a little bit before it. I went on the website during my trip, and I found the website wasn't the usual runtime error. It was instead a QR code with some numbers under it, and I actually had a different video planned when I originally found it, but I made a vlog regarding the QR code, so here it is. So I didn't want to make a video while on my trip, but a viewer has gotten in contact with me saying they have a code for Xccr. So while I'm on my trip, I check out the website just because there's a QR code here as well as that number, and I can't scan the QR code, so I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna print it. Hopefully this works, and hopefully I'm definitely going to upload this after it's all done, and I don't know if anyone's going to check back. I hope not. I want to be the first to discover this. I'm like that, I guess. Anyways, I'm going to try and scan this code when I get home, because my QR code scanner works with everything else. But I guess it has to be printed for it to work right, because it's not detecting it here. So yeah, I'm going to print this when I get home, and we're going to see where it takes me. So yeah, like I supposedly mentioned in the video, I tried scanning the code on my phone from my laptop, but it did not work. So I thought maybe I need to print it, and I just have to do it when I got home. I panicked, and I saved the QR code everywhere. Google Drive, my phone, my laptop, on this phone, USB to or my computer to phone flash drive. I saved it everywhere. So in case it did go away, I would still have a definitive version of the QR code, not just not just an image of it taken from some live video. So yeah, even if I didn't save it, I still would have had the live video to prove that it was there. But I had the QR code, and as far as I could tell, no one else had seen this before, or if they did, they hadn't documented it. So I thought I'd struck a gold mine in a way. A couple days after that, the website, not even a couple days, I think like 2 days, maybe one, it changes to a work-in-progress build of the original website. This is in 2021 again, so the website, I'm just gonna say this as of now, is supposedly back, but I do want to mention a few things about it. The QR code was gone, by the way. It was no longer there, but it was replaced with a supposedly working version of the website. And as the days progressed, the website became more and more functional, I guess. It started to function more and more. Actually, let's go back to the website originally. The main website, the one, again, that was in 2021. So, the website appears to just have the basic Xccr stuff, but it's missing a lot of the numbers. The numbers you'd supposedly see in the older versions of the website, below the main text area, those are all gone, but it's been replaced with an equation of some sorts. I have no clue how to decipher. You can see on the image there. Side note here, just as I was editing this video, I went back to go to a screenshot of the equation, because you can't actually see it unless it's highlighted. It just changed. It went from 0.00000 slash 0.000227 equals A, that's what it originally said, to B1A, and then 0/7 equals D1A. So essentially what we have now. Before then, yeah, it was just the top equation, but no B1A, just A. There's no 0/7 equals D1A. I don't know what this means. This is all very convenient because, again, Captain Carter contacted me about the code, which you'll hear about later in this video, and you have that happening around this time span, and then the website just changing now. So yeah, I don't know why it's changing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're planning. But it's changing in real time as the days progress. It's getting more and more advanced, I guess. I have no clue. I don't know what this means. I don't know how long this will be around for, but I felt I should add it into the video. Probably gonna check back tomorrow, just to see what else changes. Or maybe not tomorrow, maybe in a couple days, because it's not changing daily. It's changing like every 3 or 4 days or so. It's not changing on the daily, like, if I said that earlier, that's not what's happening. But it's still getting updated, which is actually really cool. It's just, I don't know. I have no clue what it is. I entered in the calculator, no luck. I asked some people who are familiar with math, I guess, about it, but they had no clue what it's about either. So I have no clue what this means. I figured it's similar to the QR code numbers, but that's not really saying a lot. There's just nothing to go off of with this. Now let's jump back to the QR code. I got home and printed it out, and I made this vlog. Okay, so I got the full code printed out now. I used my laptop because my computer doesn't work with this printer, but it's printed. We're gonna scan the code. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully, we get some nice results. Unfortunately, the QR code did not work. I tried scanning it, and it just didn't work at all. That was just it. There's nothing more to the QR code section. I still have it printed out on my shelf. It's just sitting there, but yeah, it doesn't work. And I feel like it looks like it's missing a piece of it, but I'd have no idea where that piece would be on the internet. It could be anywhere. Right, so the QR code, I'm going to try and see if I can find a way to host the image itself on some sort of image site, so this way people can download it and see it for themselves. Hopefully I can figure that out. And if not, well, I don't know, because I would like to share it still. I think some people would still like to see it, just because they might be able to do more with it than I would. As the days progress, the Xccr website, that, again, the recent version made in 2021, about to jump into 2022, it starts to get more and more functional. Yeah, it starts to become more and more functional. You can now type in, well, okay, so when the website originally first started, when you type stuff in, press enter, nothing would happen. It would just sit there and do nothing. But then I found the Reddit post. This ties into the Xccr current website. I found a Reddit post, again, like I mentioned earlier, talking about the only sort of documented progress, I believe, to exist. about Xccr. It talks about how they entered in a code, and some stuff happened, things popped up on their screen, and they were able to somehow, I don't know how to explain it. They're somehow able to make some progress in it and made it to a checkpoint where it would display the on-screen text, "Are you him?" or "You are him," one of those two. Looking on the post here, it says they were able to get a sort of grid, and they had multiple users to do this with, and there's a README file. So I'm gonna have a link to this in the description. You may have already found this if you snooped around Xccr a bit. I'll have a link to this in the description as well. Where they found a README file. I don't know how they found that, and I don't know how they managed to do any of this. In the bottom of the Reddit post, it says, "What is known, however, is 227664 is incredibly important." I tried entering other numbers found on the Reddit post, but none of them had any results except for 227664. When you enter that into the 2021 version, I'll just call it the latest version for simplicity reasons. If you enter it into the latest version of the Xccr website, it begins a 100-minute timer. This, I'm assuming, is similar to the aforementioned 10 to 90 minutes aspect of the original website. You have to enter, it says in the Reddit post, you have to enter a specific number every 10 to 90 minutes. I'm assuming this timer is there to facilitate that. But I have no clue what numbers to enter, and I'm not going to go digging just to find that out. But yeah, it begins a timer. That's the only response I'm able to get out of this website. I tried other numbers found on the post, 314, 159, 10, 50, 12. That supposedly create specific outcomes, as well as 30, 55, and 78. They said in older versions, and this stuff all may work in older versions, but I'm talking strictly about the latest one. They say the numbers 30, 55, and 78 create the message, "Are you him?" I was not able to replicate this on the 2022 version of the website, latest version. I did try going back to see if they would work in older versions of the website using Wayback Machine. The problem with this is that I'm not trying to dog on Wayback Machine or anything. It is a great piece of archive. It's a great archive program. The problem itself is Xccr. Xccr's text, it's not actual text. It creates images of each number. Whoever made the website pre-made every image, pre-made every number from 1 to 0. They made it into an image, gave it the sort of hacker-esque green text that you see there, and whenever you enter in a number, it creates a brand new image. It does not create text. You cannot copy and paste this text. It's all images. You can download the images, but you can't copy and paste it like you would normally with text. For the latest version of the website, it's fine, but for Wayback Machine, it's trying to run essentially this old website made in 2006 that's constantly trying to load and load images, and it's just one thing after another. It creates a lot of stress on Wayback Machine, ends up being very slow. I was never able to enter any numbers on these older versions of the site. I can never get any responses out of it, not even entering 227664, which for sure works on the latest version of Xccr. That begins a 100-minute timer. I was not able to replicate it on the older versions. So as of now, the mystery only gets more and more confusing. We have passcodes that don't work anymore because Wayback Machine Xccr doesn't run too well, and the latest version of the website, I guess, isn't fully developed yet. As of now, at least, isn't. And we have a QR code that doesn't work and appears to be missing a section of it, if it even means anything. We have more info, but it just leaves us with more questions than answers. It puts us in the same spot as the last video. But there's one more thing I do have to mention, and that is Captain Carter. He, again, at the beginning of the video, I said he was the one who messaged me saying he would have a code for Xccr. And he originally messaged me before I knew about the Reddit post making any progress, but even after, I still wanted to go see what he had, just in case he had anything else to offer, anything new. I wanted any piece of evidence I could find, so I went ahead and we had a little exchange on Discord over YouTube over a few days, and I gave him an alternative Discord of mine. My biggest question for him was, how did he get a code to Xccr? Which is pretty expected. I mean, again, how on earth would he get a code? Maybe he saw the Reddit post, maybe he saw something else. I don't know. This is before I found out about a lot of the new developments about Xccr. Again, it could be some piece of evidence I already saw, but it's still worth finding out. So his story is essentially he was playing Gmon with a few friends and his girlfriend, and he's fooling around with one of the CRT monitors. If you change the skin for it, it reveals a code that is actually also seen in the TV show Lost. The deal is, or the code, actually as a matter of fact, is 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. And these numbers are seen in the TV show Lost. Now, I've never seen Lost, but I've seen clips of it that have these numbers. So why were they in Gmod is beyond me. And it's in the same text style as Xccr, so it's a very valid idea of connection. Now, let me just rephrase myself. There still is no definitive proof that Xccr has anything to do with Half-Life or Source related. There's no proof that has to do with any of that other than the billboard. And just cause, but there's still a possibility that it's literally just a coincidence that you just chose some random Russian text. It's not quite known for sure, but I think for now, for simplistic reasons, we should just go off that it is connected to Half-Life. And this would strengthen it even more, but I don't know, it still feels very disconnected. But back to the actual code itself, he found this in the Gmod files, and for those who don't know, Gmod, he found this in the Gmod skins, and Gmod skins are also what's seen in Half-Life. That's where they get the skins from. Valve made the skins, and they're all imported to Gmod, and if you change them, if you change the CRT monitor skin, you get this code. And honestly, the fact that it's here and it's just all bewildering, because again, it looks so much like it would play into Xccr. And actually, honestly, now that I think about it now, it does really make it look like the two are connected. So he saw my video and put it all together, saying that the code, this would be a code that would work for Xccr. Now, originally was a little skeptical about it. I trusted him, honestly, but I just had to be sure. So I went to Gmod, I spawned all the CRTs I could. The first CRT I tried, I changed to like the second or first skin, and it had the code, the same thing. And I just thought, wow, that was very, very cool. Again, it's literally like this piece of info here that's sitting right under our noses. And Captain Carter stumbled across upon that, so big shout out to him. I guess I'll put a link to his channel in the description below, because I do owe him for that. Yeah, I was very amazed by this when I found it out. I originally, like 10 seconds ago, I didn't sound quite like it, but I was honestly very amazed about it, because again, it just looks so, it looks like it's all in line with each other. So I did a little more digging about this code, and it also is found in Half-Life 2, which again is even better. You know, it's even better if this is found in Half-Life 2, because if it's just found in Gmod, there's a possibility that the developers added it in. So let's take Xccr out of the picture really quick. This still means that there's a correlation. I don't want to say correlation. It could just be a reference to Lost. But there's something that has to do with Lost in Half-Life 2. Already, that's very cool and very astonishing. I'm at a loss for words here. But we could also try and test Xccr and try and associate the two, which is actually what I did. And of course, I did that by trying to enter in the code, but even without spaces, there was not enough room to enter in the full string of numbers, 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not looking at the image right now. Now, I do want to clarify. One of the reasons why I'm kind of going crazy over this is because if this were a normal Easter egg, I would just brush it off as an Easter egg if it was just a little homage to Lost. But this is different due to the fact that it's very similar to the text style in Xccr. It's just very similar to the text style, and not to mention we found the Xccr billboard in Half-Life 2. So it's just, there's a lot of things, when you put it all together, it makes a bigger picture than what it originally meets the eye. That's why I'm focusing on this more than I would if it was just some homage to some show. You know, it's the fact that you have this website here, supposedly found in Half-Life 2, and you have some text that would go along with it. It's not just like you just find random text on the wall, and that's it, and it's just some homage to some show. This is different just because, yeah, it's just because if you put it all together, it makes a sort of image. That's the main reason why I'm going crazy. Again, not crazy, but why I'm focusing on this so much. If it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for Xccr.com, I would have just brushed this off as, you know, a little homage, a little Easter egg. But when you put it all together, it does create a bigger picture, or what appears to be a bigger picture. But yeah, there was no way to fully enter in the code even without spaces. And this is all done on the new version of the website, as the old version just flat out wasn't working right, because it was just so, I don't want to say slow, because it sounds like I'm shitting on Wayback Machine. I'm not trying to, really. I'm not at all. It's a very great piece of great archive. It's a great archive program. It's just Xccr in general. It's just a very slow process the way it does things. But even after waiting for quite a while, I could never get a proper response out of it. So I tried it there, but of course there's no luck. And on new versions, there wasn't any space either. I tried different combos of the numbers, entering them backwards, forwards, arranging a few things around here and there. There's like a billion different combos you could really go, but I tried some of the more basic ones, but no luck. And again, though, the correlation between this Xccr and Lost it still astonishes me, because it's just so, what's the word, unique, convenient, I don't know, it's something like that, but it's a lot to think about. Again, maybe Gabe Newell just really likes the show Lost, I'm not sure, but yeah. Unfortunately, the code had no effect. I messaged Captain Carter with the bad news. After receiving the bad news, we were both bummed out, but I don't think we had the highest hopes of finding too much out either, so we were both fine. He messaged me again about this screen that's seen in the Team Fortress 2 files and the Team Fortress 2 maps in general, which has a sort of, the text type that's used in it is against the known Xccrs, but this one I felt was just sort of not done. It's just a screen effect. It wasn't actually done for any ARG or Xccr purposes. It just happened to look like it. But I determined that there was really no correlation between the TF2-1 and Xccr, because the Xccr's style of text is very common, and you would see it a lot in things something like TF2, which is very cartoony in its style, graphics, and atmosphere. Yeah, it's almost basic. Just because of how much it's used. It's your average hacker text font, you know, when you see this you think, oh, hacking. So I felt that's really the reason why, not that there's any correlation or anything. But there is one more major-ish thing we have to discuss. When I was trying to access the first version of Xccr to input the code that Captain Carter gave me, there's actually two builds that are saved in 2006 in Wayback Machine. This second build, this later build I'd never seen before because it was actually kind of tucked away, is an awkward spot that you really wouldn't notice in the first place. But I didn't see the first build, and I just saw the second one. I noticed it. I noticed it then and not earlier because it's just hidden away. But I finally noticed it, and I clicked it, and it took me to something very different, but was Xccr related. And this was, well, it's kind of hard to explain. Basically, when you booted it up, you see all these, boot up the second version of the website, you see all these black and green squares with flashing rectangles in the middle of them. You click one, and the screen, it will say bunker, the bunker number, the occupant, and its values. This had me immediately confused. As you can imagine, I just thought, what the hell is this? I clicked around a little more, and yeah, these were bunkers that were saved in Xccr. I don't know if anyone's ever found these before, but why these are here, I have no clue. Why are they available in this snapshot? I have no clue. And the reason I didn't find this again is because it was just hidden away. So you would click a bunker, and it would say bunkers. It'd say on the bunkers tab of the website, the bunker number, the occupant, and its values. As well as a blank code and a helper number bunker. Who were these occupants? What were these values? What were these codes? I have no clue. I'm extremely confused by this still. I don't think there's a definitive answer. I don't know. Searching up Xccr bunkers will lead you to an article or a news site or something like that that says something that's named something Emporium, and it talks about Xccr. It says, just a quick update to say that Xccr.com has been updated for the first time in a long while. Sign up for your bunker. I'm in 1 to 210. I guess he got that from the website itself. I don't know. But below that, it says, I think the general idea for this one is to recreate this image. And this is the image on screen. And the image reads out, hello 227664. The general idea is to recreate this image. Typing the code 227664 into someone else's bunker makes their bunker stop flashing. It also adds to, what's crossed out, subtracts from their value, and increases the value of the bunker given in the helper bunker field. I've been only doing it to bunkers that match the image. And it's from a guy named Dominic, dated at 2006, 11/25. So November 25th, 2006, at 4:54, I believe. I believe that's military time, so I think it would be 4:54. And it says, yeah, here, the article was written 15 years ago. I think it's a little over that by now. No, actually not really. I have, this even confused me even more. But it reads, hello 227664. The only number I've been able to get the main website, the current working website of Xccr to respond to. So what happens when you get it to display this image? So naturally I tried to toy around with it. I tried to toy around with bunkers and enter the number 227664 into the only place I could, which was the bunker code. I want to take a pause here because I think I know why. Xccr, it's a normal website, can be changed and edited as long as the website allows, right? Wayback Machine only has a specific snapshot saved. So when you change the colors and change the values and all that, normally it would work because it changes the website. Wayback Machine only has its specific version saved with those specific colors. So every time you load the website again and go back, it's just going to load the same specific colors and not have the changes you made because it doesn't have that. It's not able to do that. It's always going to stay there because it's a specific version of the colors that it's saved. This is the only explanation I could come up with it. I could be wrong, but I think it just makes sense because, yeah, if you could change, it would make sense if you could change the values and the colors and all that, but you can't. And that's just due to the Wayback Machine only having the specific snapshot saved with those specific colors. And every time you reload it, it just loads back those colors, because it's the only one that was saved. Suffice to say, I could never get it to react in any way, shape, or form. The bunkers would always stay the same. They would be the green or black and always stay flashing. But there was one more thing you could do with these bunkers. Some of the bunkers were green and black. Actually, I don't think that matters too much, but some of the rectangles on the bunkers were flashing, and there's some that weren't. The ones that weren't flashing had no occupants in them, and you could actually click Apply Now for a bunker. Again, immediately I was excited, nervous, bewildered, so I made an entirely new email just for this and applied for a bunker. Of course, pretty much expecting it not to work. This is an email service from 2007, 2006, trying to run through Wayback Machine. The chances of this working are 1 in a million, if any. I don't even know if it's an actual email service. It could have been an actual person running behind this that doesn't do it anymore. But it still begs the question, why is this here? Because later versions of the website, later instances, don't have these bunkers. This is the only time I've ever seen these bunkers, and there appears to be, supposedly, there's only one snapshot of them. The only safe snapshot of these bunkers. I would never come across this if it wasn't for a Wayback Machine, so big credit to them. I'll have a link to, if I didn't mention it before, something in Emporium, and the article about it. As well as, I'll leave the Wayback Machine in the Wayback Machine link for the bunkers in the description as well. But, yeah, so still these questions: who occupied these bunkers? What do the values mean? And what does it mean if you have a bunker? Does that mean you have a role in controlling the colors, try and get the message hello 227-664? It all revolves around that number, 227-664. It's an integral part of this whole mystery, because again, it keeps referring back to that, and it's the only number I could get a reaction out of the main website. I'm pretty sure there's a number that just begins the whole thing in general. If you want to enter in and try and start the mystery, start the puzzle, you would have to enter 227-664. But I have no clue how to do that. If you want to find out for yourself, I guess look in the Reddit post and maybe contact the original guys behind it. But kind of anticlimactic. But again, I'd no clue if it worked. No intention of it working just because it's so old. The whole bunker thing was a mystery. I was not expecting to find this at all. But yeah, that's just a key number there, 227-664. So in the end, what the hell happened? Well, the Xccr website is back up and running, but the QR code that was originally there and could give us another detail about this whole thing is gone. Except I have it though, and I do intend on finding a way to upload it so other people can have it as well, just for that sake. There's the zeros under the QR code, but I don't know what they mean, as well as the equation under the main website. Don't know what that means either. Captain Carter's code does not work, there's not enough space for it, and trying basic combos does not work. I can't start reaction. Again, it could just be because the website, not really again, but it could just be because the website isn't completely restored. Again, it's been more and more restored as the days go by, so maybe it's best to try that later than now. There was the bunkers, again, not able to get a reaction out of that. And what else is there? Oh, yeah, the code being what you see in, not the code, Captain Carter's code being the same set of numbers that you see in the TV series Lost. So there's a connection there, or at the very least an Easter egg. But yeah, this leaves us again back to where we started. We have more info now, but there's no definitive answers to any of this. And this might actually be where the case rests, unless something else happens and it all shoots up again, which is more than possible. It happened once, it could happen again. Thank you for watching. This is kind of a long video. Again, it's been through 2 other iterations, but I wanted a more organized and centered video, and even as I was making this video, I was still finding a few new things out about it that I sort of included at the last minute. I jotted down a list of 32 bullet points that I want to go over in this video, just to have the whole, I guess you'd say, timeline, just the whole list of events, just to categorize everything I found, because a lot has happened since that initial video, and not even since the initial video, in the time span between leaving New Mexico and now. A lot has come up, and I'm glad I was able to uncover a lot of this stuff, because there's been a lot of stuff I uncovered here there's either been no to little documentation of. So I'm glad it's here on this channel, where it's more publicly exposed. If you haven't seen the original video, you can go ahead and do that, but it's mostly just listing things that I've already seen and already known. Again, I will admit it is kind of useless, but still is worth watching just cause, and what incited this whole chase, and not really chase, but this whole investigation to begin with. Which, honestly, investigations like this are what I really love doing on this channel. Not benchmarks, I mean animations are kind of like that too, but these investigation videos are really what I love to do, and because they take a lot of time to make, but when you upload them and when you finally release them, it really pays off.